Welcome to Mill History Talk, the podcast where we explore the past to better understand the profession of arms today. We dive into the campaigns, conflicts, issues, and commanders that have shaped military thinking across centuries, and why it all still matters. Whether you're an officer in training, a seasoned professional, a student of strategy, or simply curious about how history informs modern warfare, this space is for you. Our mission is simple: to foster insight, reflection, and critical thinking primarily through the lens of military history. Before we begin, a quick note. The views expressed in this podcast are of the podcast writers, hosts, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any government agency or organization. So, whether you're listening in a barracks, a lecture hall, at the gym, or in your car on the way to work, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Hello, Battlefield bookworms. Welcome back to the Mill History Talk Book Review Desk, where yes, I am still the temporary desk chief, and no, they have still not given me a parking spot or even a commemorative mug. Honestly, the disrespect is stunning. Today we're jumping into Arthur Herman's Freedom's Forge, which tells the absolutely wild story of how the United States went from Depression-era sluggishness to the industrial powerhouse that built the arsenal of democracy. If you've ever wondered how this country suddenly started turning out Liberty ships, Jeep carriers, tanks, planes, and enough ammunition to make every logistics officer cry with joy, this is your book. The genre is narrative nonfiction. The central question is, how did American business leaders, private business leaders, help win World War II? And the setting isn't battlefields. It's factories, steel mills, shipyards, design shops, and the nonstop hum of 1940s American industry. Herman turns all of that into something that honestly reads like a thriller. Picture America in 1939 with an army about the size of Portugal's. Then picture William Knudsen, the automotive genius Roosevelt drafted, and Henry Kaiser, the shipbuilding sorcerer, basically re-engineering the nation in real time. Herman follows them as they build the industrial machine that fueled the war effort, and his writing is sharp, fast, and extremely readable. It never gets bogged down in technical sludge or bureaucratic trivia. One of the book's biggest strengths is its pacing. It moves like a Detroit assembly line in high gear. The Liberty ship chapters are especially fantastic. Seeing Kaiser's yards go from nothing to launching ships faster than anyone thought possible is just fun. And the sections on the escort carriers, those little Jeep carriers that kept U-boats awake at night, have the energy of an action montage. Herman's portraits of the industrialists are vivid and memorable. He really leans into the personalities that drove the wartime surge, and it makes the whole narrative feel alive. If there's one mild critique, it's that Herman sometimes pushes the heroic entrepreneur angle a bit hard, giving slightly less attention to the government organizations and labor force that were also crucial. But that's really a matter of emphasis, not a fatal flaw. The best part of the book for me is how Herman makes industrial mobilization feel dramatic. He takes something that could easily be dry and turns it into a gripping story of ambition, innovation, and impossible deadlines. Within the broader scholarship, alongside works by Richard Overy, Paul Koistinen, and the classic federal mobilization histories, Herman's place is clear. He's the popular storyteller who makes the subject accessible without dumbing it down. And now the part where every military professional should pay attention. Freedom's Forge isn't just a history lesson. It's a warning wrapped in a narrative. Because if America learned anything during World War II, it's that you cannot wait until a war begins to build the industrial base you need to win it. You can't improvise your way out of a global conflict. If the strategic foundation isn't already strong, the battlefield won't be either. This book reminds us, very politely, that our current industrial timelines look like they're running underwater compared to the speed and adaptability of the 1940s. And if we're talking about modern peer conflict, contested logistics, ammunition production, shipbuilding, or the need to scale quickly, well, Freedom's Forge suddenly feels extremely relevant. So here's the bottom line. This is a lively, engaging, sharply written account of America's wartime industrial miracle. It's a solid contribution to the history of American mobilization and an important reminder of what it actually takes to sustain a war effort. If you like Overy, Koistinen, or anything related to World War II production, you'll enjoy this. If you're in the military, defense industry, logistics, or acquisition, you might want to keep a highlighter handy. All right, friends, that's the review. Thanks for hanging out with me. Your temporary, underappreciated, parking spotless Book Review Desk Chief. And remember, history isn't dusty. It's drama, strategy, and power plays. With better lighting. See you next time.